Hello everyone and welcome to Mark Knoll Horsemanship. Here we are with a 5-year-old Appaloosa mare, aka Donkey, aka Brown Feather. So those are two names that two different kids named her, but so this is Donkey or Brown Feather, whichever one you want to call her.
Donkey Brown Feather.
Donkey Brown Feather. But she came to me, she was riding already. The owner had ridden her on numerous amounts of trail rides, but she just needed a little bit of a advancement, a little bit of handle put on her, so to speak, and a little bit refined, if you will. And also she was a little bit boogery on things around her on the ground. So with you being, different things you would do. So I've worked on that, and I still am working on that. Just because you don't see me do it in a video doesn't mean that I'm not working on it. But we're working on her a little bit of silliness on the ground. Don't know where it's coming from. It's not important. The most important thing is that we're getting it better. So before I get on her right here, I've been riding her around some, and I just wanted to talk about the mechanics of a snaffle bit. As you can see, I'm just riding her in a D-ring snaffle, a broken bit. I like to point out that with this type bit, that this bit hobble is what you call it. It's not called a curb strap or a curb chain. It is a bit hobble. All it does on this particular type bit is it hobbles that bit into place. In other words, if you're schooling a horse and they're gaping their mouth because they're not too savvy on a bit at all, or if they're a problem horse that hasn't been bitted up correctly and they got a little bit of problem with the bit and they're gaping that mouth and you're pulling, all it does is prevent that bit, I should say, from being able to pull it all the way through their mouth. In other words, when you pull on this side and the slack in this bit hobble will be taken up, and it keeps this D-ring from coming through. Vice versa. If you're pulling on that side, this bit hobble keeps this D-ring from sliding through. So that's the only purpose that has on this type bit. In other words, when you pull back on the reins, one rein or two, it doesn't matter. That hobble right there does nothing. They're basically learning from the pressure on the bars of their mouth and from the D-ring on the side. If you're pulling from the left, then they're learning to go away from this D-ring on this side. If you're pulling to the right, they're learning to go away from the pressure or the D-ring on this side. So that's the mechanics of a snaffle bit. Now when I first get on her right here, you're going to see me do some lateral flexion. She didn't know a thing about lateral flexion when she came, but she does now. So we're going to get up here and get her soft. You can see her kind of jerking around right there. That's just what she does, but she's never done anything outside of that, but she could pitch me over the moon when I get on her, but I doubt it. So we're just going to come up here and get on her here, and first thing I'm going to do is just laterally bend her. You can see she really struggles to this side. She struggles how, Mark? She struggles with balance. Right there, she did really good. Go around this way, and she didn't know a thing about this. I thought she was going to fall with me the first few times I did it. But if you'll notice, I'm distributing my weight to the outside, and that's helping her spread her back legs and find her balance. So right here, right there. Now she found her balance, and she got soft. Do the same thing on this side. This is her off side. She don't have very good balance. But right there, you can see she sort of sprawled apart behind, should have a little bit, and she found her balance. Now I'll do this for, a few minutes, a minute or two when I first get on them. I want to teach them that lateral bend right there. They must learn to balance and to hold herself up when you take their balance away. How do you take their balance away by doing this? Well, their balance comes from their spine, and their spine goes all the way up to behind their ears. So when you take part of that away, a good portion of it, then of course they're going to what? They're going to lose their balance. So not only does this get them soft in the bridle, but like I was telling the owner, because he's a farrier, he's a blacksmith, it also helps them as far as a horse being able to stand on 3 legs. And if you don't believe me, you'll just have to, because I ain't got no proof other than I know it for a fact. So right here, we're just going to ask her to balance up right here, to get soft in that bridle. And then after I do that on these horses, I'll just kind of walk them out right here, and we'll go for a little ride in here. And all I'm looking for right here is softness in the bridle and a little bit of just kind of what I call bridling up. Just going to ask her to break over at that pole right here don't really want her trotting. I just want her to walk around with a nice broken pole. Where are you talking about the pole? Between her ears, that axis right there, that ball joint. I just want her to break over and get soft in that pole. I'll give her the slack, let her know she did good, and then I may ask her to break over at that pole again as she's walking around in here. Just right there. If you notice, I kind of got my legs on her. I'm encouraging her to go forward while I'm breaking her over at the pole. That's what you call working on what? Collection. Getting this mare collected up to where she'll use her hindquarters more. And if you notice, I'm dumpy. In other words, I'm pushing down with my rump. I'm making a belly, so to speak, and I'm asking her to stick that rear end under her when she collects up right here. And I got my leg on her and pushing her forward at the same time. And I'm always what? Giving back. And this is the stuff that I do here. A lot of people don't really know what working a horse means. And when I work a horse, this is what I'm doing. I'm just in here working on things. Getting them soft, getting them pliable. Now right here, instead of going the other way, like you normally would, I'm going to watch this. Let me get over here where you can see. I'll get back over here right in front of you. I'm going to come this way. Now I'm going to the left. I'm thinking about going to the right. So instead of just turning her around like you normally would, I'm going to stop her right here. I'm going to back her up. I'm going to put this left rein and this right leg on her, and I'm going to move that front end over. Look at there. Now we're going to the right. If you got tools, use them. If you got buttons, push them. And, you know, so many people, I'll get these horses to doing this. Next thing you know, they're riding down the trail, and they're wanting to go the other way, or a tree's in their way, and they can't go any further. And they got these tools and this buttons, and they won't use it. They'll just mule plow that horse around and go the other way. When all you can do, if you got to go the other way, look, use your tools. Set them down, back them up a few steps, put this right leg and right rein on her, and move that front end around. Look here. I can move her back around to where I started at. She's a little weird with it still. She's kind of climbing out of the bridle, but she'll get there. She'll get there. I'll do that several times. Set them down, rock them back on their hindquarters, get them to move that front end over. Stop them right there. Rock them back on their hindquarters. Right here, got a little problem going. That's okay. She'll get it straight in a minute. Put her over this way. Boom, right there. Now, pretty and clean. Now I'll get to what you call working this horse at a trot. So we'll just get her trotting right here. Just a nice, comfortable trot. This horse can lope, but right now she's what you call exploding into her lope. So I'm still working on that. We're not quite there yet, but she panics into it. But I do believe that she's gonna end up being a nice little loping horse. I'm still working on it. No use in going there today for this video, but I am working on it. Now after I get these horses trotting around this barn a little bit, I'll start doing what I call fence work. Now watch over here on this fence. I'll set her down and drive her out of there. Boom. And then drive her with that outside foot. That was my right foot going that way. When I turn her on this wall here in a minute, I'm going to be using my left leg. Now watch this. Just put my little handle on this horse. This horse has got some moves to it. Set her down right here. Move that front end over with that left leg. Again, I'll do it right here. We'll use my right leg. Set her down right here. Move that front end over. Really start getting a handle on this horse. Now I'm going to long trot her right here and just see if possibly see how fast she can trot. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. I'll have to get her in my big pen to really get it going though. Because this pen, set her down right here. Weight on it. Boom. Move that shoulder up. This pen right here is a little bit too small. She's going to need more room to stretch out to get in that lope. We'll use my right leg right here. Look at there. She'll really move around if you bump her. I'm going to bump her right here. Watch this. You better have a deep seat. Watch this. I'll do it where you can see it. Bump that around. Look at there. Right here. Boom. Bump her with that left foot. Bring that front end around. Bump her with this right foot. Bring that front end around. She's got a heck of a little got some moves to her. Let's see what she does going this way at a fast trot. Look at there. There's a little lope. That's the first time I've roped her.
Your Makati fell down.
Let me fix my having technical difficulties here. We have them on these big operations. These technical difficulties. Get my old Makati rope fixed back up here, and we'll be right back in business, folks. That was exciting that I got her loaded. Pretty cool stuff. I'll just fix it like that for now, and it should stay. All right. So let's work on that just a minute. I like that little lope. We'll get her to do it one more time, or we'll let her go with that. See if I can just step her right up into it. There we go. There we go. Ooh. Look at that little stop she's got. Move this front end around. Boom. Fancy little mare here. She'll make a good little cow pony. If you're separating cattle, she'll make a good one. She can move it now right here. Now let me talk about this just a minute, and I'm going to let y'all go for today. This right here, you can see her kind of climbing out of that. What my goal is to get her to do that, moving her forequarters around, her forehand around, and staying on her hind quarter. I want to get that to where she's collected doing it. So what I do is I do it slower. And I bring them around, and now I'm putting my right leg on her, my right rein. But now I'm kind of massaging that tongue with my left rein, and while she's going around, I'm wanting her right there, right there, right there. Do you see it? I'm wanting her to also break at the pole instead of climbing out of that bridle. So there's the details that a lot of people don't get that I'm working on. So right here, I'll do it again. Right leg, right rein, asking her to move that forequarter around, but I'm massaging her mouth with this left rein and asking for a vertical bend, right. Right, it's coming. Right there. Right there. One more step. Right there. See, ain't that prettier? And then you work on the same thing over here. Now it's going to be my left rein, my left leg, nose tip to the right just slightly. But when she goes to climb out of that, I'm just going to massage that tongue with my right rein and ask her to collect up. Break over at the pole. So here we go. We'll move her around here, just waiting on right there. Nose comes in, nose is coming in, nose is coming in a little more. She's gnawing on that bit a little bit, and that's okay. This is where it takes feel, right there. Now ain't that better? Same thing backing her up. She wants to climb out of that bridle a little bit. I'm just going to wait on her. She wants to back up crooked, that's okay. Just wait on her to get pretty in that bridle and quit pulling on me. And back up. See, she's complaining a little bit. She gets a little panicky. I think somebody's punished her with a backup before. I don't punish horses with a backup. I want that backup to be nice. So why would I punish a horse by backing her up? She's not going to like a backup. And I think that, now look at there, ain't that pretty? Let's talk about that. You see so many people, when they correct their horse, I see brow racers, and I'm going to say it. If you got I'm sure you'll send me a comment if you don't like it. But I see barrel horses all the time. A horse has a bad run. What do? They go to snatching that rein, backing them up. Hey, why you want to punish them with a backup? A backup's important. So you don't want them to feel panicked in that backup like they did something wrong. You want them to back up smooth. And by the way she acts, I think she's been punished in the backup. So I'm just going to let her know, look, you're not being punished, but I need you to do it correctly, and I need you to do it lightly. Right there. Ain't that much prettier? Ask her to step out of there. Now watch what I can do. I can back her up. Hold on, let's get her back and straight. Back her up. Move that front end this way. Back her up. Move that front end this way. You can just zigzag her everywhere in here. Back her up here. Now, one more thing, and I'll shut up. Let's pretend I got corners in here to get you out of these circles a little bit. Let's say I got an orange cone right there. I've got an orange cone right here. And as you can see, I don't. You'll just have to use your imagination. I got an orange cone here, and I've got an orange cone here. If you draw a line between them, it'll be a square. Pretty simple. So once you start applying this, you can get out of these circles. I'm going to start at this cone, and I'm going to ride to that cone, to that cone, to that cone, and back to this cone. But I'm going to cut corners. I'm not going to do round. So watch. I'm going to ride to this cone. Just imagine it being here. Stop her here. Cut a corner. Ride to this cone. Stop her here. Right. Cut this corner. Right there. Ride to here. Stop her here. Cut this corner. Right back where you started. But wait, it ain't over. Look. You can cut this corner. Boom. You can back her up right here. Back her up right here. Cut this corner. Look at that. Now you're back on schedule. Now you can go to the left. To the left. Stop her here at this cone. Cut this corner. Ain't that pretty? Stop her right here on this cone. Cut that corner. Stop her over here on this cone. Cut that corner. And you're back where you started. So that's where you can start riding these squares. Instead of always, you see these horses that are diving down in the bridle or diving down in the shoulder? That's from circle after circle after circle. So lift them shoulders. Ride with a lifted rein instead of a down here. You know, you want to be down here when you're wanting vertical because you want them to bend over and flex. But when you're riding circles or squares, you want to lift that rein. You want to lift that shoulder. Look at here. Now I can lift that shoulder around through that. Just like that. So they're not diving down in that shoulder. That's what makes these horses break down over time with physical ailments. So that's how I play with these horses and get a handle on them for these owners and customers. And I hope this owner will be happy. If he's not, he can just get happy. It don't matter. And he knows that I like to pick on him, so he'll know that I'm just joking. But anyway, I think she's doing all right. I think that lope right there really will get slower and more decent with time. I've got to get her. See, when she goes around to the left, she's leaning. That's why she don't pick up that lope going to the left. So now I'm going to have to what? Lift that shoulder and teach her to go around here at a trot without diving. And then I can start lifting that shoulder when I ask her to lope. And she'll lift that shoulder without diving down and come up in that lope and do it correctly. So I hope that all made sense. This is a nice little, she is little, but she's a nice little mare. She's got a heck of a motor to her, but it's controllable. And it'd be exciting to get her in a group of cattle and separate calves with her or whatever you needed to do. I think she'd make a good little cow pony. So, anywho, thank you for watching. God bless you. And remember, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, you can do that today. If you feel the urging and the conviction in your heart to give your heart to Him, don't deny that. You can't just get saved when you want to. You have to have that convicting power of the Holy Spirit that comes on you in order for you to be saved. But if you feel that convicting power come on you, submit to it. It'll be the best thing that ever happened to you. And we love you. God bless you. And have a good day. Thank you.